Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Later tonight, my bill to almost halve child poverty will have its vote in the House. I want to thank all of those community organisations, Every Child Counts, Child Poverty Action Coalition, the Champions for Children, and many other groups and individuals who have written and emailed, Twittered and Facebooked, marched, rallied and otherwise worked to have this bill pass at its first reading tonight. And it is with genuine sorrow that I report that we are still yet to find the one more vote we need to send this bill to the Select Committee. All those parties supporting the bill tonight have been given a pair of infant socks, baby socks. A small gesture from me to acknowledge their commitment to finding a real solution to the poverty that is suffered by 250,000 children in New Zealand today. I have one pair of baby socks left because we only need one vote from one party to pass the bill. That one vote will bring the family income of an estimated 100,000 New Zealand children above the poverty line. That one vote will ensure that these children have a warm, dry home, shoes on their feet and food in their bellies. Now, many organisations have expressed their distress at Peter Dunn's decision to oppose my bill. During the 2011 election, he signed a pledge with a group called Closer Together. That pledge says, "As a politician, I choose to commit to building a fairer New Zealand and will actively support policy measures that reduce income inequality and bring people closer together." At the time, Peter Dunn wrote, "I very much support your call for more detailed debate around the possible ways to reduce poverty and income inequality." And I ask Peter Dunn to honour that pledge he made tonight. In a Facebook post in response to my bill, Peter Dunn has said, "I believe there needs to be recognition of the hard-working efforts of low-income families, and the existing in-work tax credit is a way of achieving that." It is a way, but it is a way that discriminates against the poorest families, and my bill will remove that injustice and reduce poverty and income inequality as he said he wants to achieve. I have offered Peter Dunn and the National Government 2 compromises on my bill to meet their concerns. The first offer was to retain the hours worked criteria so that all parents who work would receive the in-work tax credit. At the moment, if you work and receive a benefit, superannuation or a student allowance, that work goes unrecognised. And Mr Dunn has said he believes in recognising the hard-working efforts of low-income families, but he has refused to recognise the hard-working efforts of this group of low-income families, some 40,000 DPB recipients who work, another 20,000 who will be expected to work at least 15 hours a week next year. They all go unrecognised by Peter Dunn. I have also offered an amendment to Government and Peter Dunn that would allow a family to retain the in-work tax credit for 6 months after they lose a job or sufficient paid hours. The working adults would then still be incentivised to find a job or more hours within the 6-month time frame, but they and their children would not suffer such a severe financial disaster at the time they lose their jobs. Because families who lose their jobs also lose this tax credit. And when the job loss has resulted from a factory closing, like in Matoda, or a workplace accident that affects thousands of New Zealanders every year, or a natural disaster, as we have seen in this country, the personal and financial strain for those hard-working families is enormous. One vote is all that those families need. But I must confess that these compromises I offered to Peter Dunn to meet his what I consider somewhat irrational needs were hard to stomach in the offering, because the Green Party believes that hard-working families are also those who care for their kids, whether in paid work or not. Hard-working parents are those who are deserving of dignity and decent treatment because they care for their kids. One vote is all that these families need. One vote is all that their children need.
The Honourable Craig Foss.